The reunion was going okay at first. I stayed in the shade. My Aunt Susan brought me lemonade. My grandpa sat with me and we caught up. A few cousins asked genuine questions about pots. They actually wanted to understand it, which was nice. Monica avoided me for the first hour. Just shot dirty looks from across the yard while entertaining her kids and playing the perfect hostess role, even though it wasn't her house. Then came the group photo. My Uncle Dave wanted to get everyone together for the annual family photo. The one we take every year in front of my parents' big oak tree. Everyone started gathering. I wheeled myself over to the group. Monica looked at me. "Are you seriously going to be in the photo in that wheelchair?" "Yes," I said, confused. "Why wouldn't I be?" "Because it looks bad. Natalie, it looks like something's wrong. Can't you just stand for 2 minutes? It's just a picture." "Monica, I can't stand safely right now. My heart rate." "Your heart rate is fine. You're fine. You just like the attention the wheelchair gets you." People were starting to stare now. The whole family was watching. "I'm not arguing about this," I said calmly. "I'm taking the photo in my wheelchair. If that bothers you, don't stand near me." "You know what?" Monica's voice was rising. "I am so sick of this. Sick of you and your fake illness and your constant need for special treatment." "Monica, that's enough," my dad started. "No. Someone needs to say it. She's been milking this for years. There's nothing wrong with her. She's just lazy and wants everyone to feel sorry for her." I felt my face burning. 40-plus family members were watching this happen. Some looked uncomfortable. Some looked shocked. My grandma had her hand over her mouth. "I'm not having this conversation," I said, starting to wheel away. And that's when Monica snapped. She stepped in front of my wheelchair. "Oh no, you're not running away this time. You're going to admit it. Right here. Right now. Admit there's nothing wrong with you. Monica, move. Stand up, Natalie. If you're really sick, you can't stand up. So prove it. Stand up. I'm not doing this." And then she grabbed the handles of my wheelchair and shoved. Hard. I went flying forward. The wheelchair tipped. And I hit the ground. Hard. I landed on my side, my hip taking most of the impact. Pain shot through my body. I tried to push myself up, but my arms were shaking. My heart rate immediately spiked. I could feel it pounding in my chest and my ears. My vision started to tunnel. I was going into an episode. A bad one. The yard erupted. Jake was the first one to me. "Natalie! Nat, are you okay?" I couldn't answer. I was trying to breathe, trying to stay conscious, trying not to completely pass out in front of everyone. My mom was screaming at Monica. "What is wrong with you? What did you do?" Monica stood there, shocked by her own actions. I wanted her to stop pretending. "She's not pretending." Jake yelled. "Look at her. Does this look fake to you?" Because by now, I was clearly in distress. My whole body was trembling. I was chalk white, sweating, gasping for air. My dad was on the phone calling 911. My Uncle Dave, who's a retired paramedic, was checking my pulse. Jesus. Her heart rate's got to be over 170. She's tachycardic, but she looks fine. Monica insisted, her voice desperate now. "She always looks fine. She's literally on the ground unable to stand and you pushed her out of a wheelchair," my mom shouted. "How is that fine?" The ambulance arrived 12 minutes later. By then, I'd partially stabilized. My heart rate had come down to 140, which was still high but not dangerous. The EMTs checked me over, took my vitals, and recommended I go to the ER to be evaluated for the fall in the POTS episode. I need to know what you're thinking right now. Drop a comment and tell me, was I wrong to press charges? And where in the world are you watching from? Your perspective really matters to me. As they loaded me into the ambulance, I made a decision. You know that moment when someone you've known your entire life reveals they never actually believed you? Never trusted you? Never saw your pain as real? Yeah, that happened to me in front of 43 family members at our annual reunion. My sister pushed me out of my wheelchair, literally shoved me onto the ground, in front of everyone. And you want to know what she said as I lay there, unable to get up? "Stop faking for attention. We all know there's nothing really wrong with you." That was 2 months ago. And what happened next? Let's just say my entire family learned a lesson they'll never forget. My name's Natalie, I'm 31 years old, and I have a condition called postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. POTS for short. It's a chronic illness that affects my autonomic nervous system, the part that controls things like heart rate, blood pressure, and digestion. On bad days, I can't stand for more than a few minutes without my heart rate shooting up to 150, my vision going black, and my body collapsing. On really bad days, I use a wheelchair because walking isn't safe. On good days, I can manage short distances with a cane. I was diagnosed 4 years ago after months of being told it was anxiety, that I was stressed, that I just needed to exercise more and eat better. Turns out, my body was literally malfunctioning, and no amount of yoga was going to fix it. It took seeing 5 specialists and having a tilt table test, where they literally strap you to a table, tilt you upright, and watch your body fail, before I got the diagnosis. POTS. Chronic. No cure. Just management. My family's reaction was mixed. My parents believed me. They'd seen me collapse. They'd been there for the hospital visits, the tests, the diagnosis. They got it. My younger brother, Jake, believed me. He carried me to the car more than once when my body gave out. He'd seen it firsthand. But my older sister, Monica, she never believed me for a second. "You look fine," she'd say every time she saw me. "If you were really sick, you'd look sick. POTS is an invisible illness, Monica. You can't see it." "Convenient," she'd interrupt. "Really convenient that you have this mystery illness nobody can see." Sounds like an excuse to me. An excuse for what? I never understood. An excuse to struggle. To miss out on family events because I was too sick to attend? To spend thousands on medical bills? To give up my career as a teacher because I couldn't stand at the front of a classroom anymore? But Monica had this theory, this belief, that I was faking it all for attention. That I was jealous of her perfect life, husband, 2 kids, successful real estate career, and wanted to steal the spotlight. As if being chronically ill was some kind of fun attention-grabbing scheme. The tension had been building for years, but it all exploded at our family reunion. Our family does this big reunion every summer. Aunts, uncles, cousins, grandparents, everyone comes. It's usually at my parents' house, which has a huge backyard perfect for these gatherings. This year, I was having a bad week. My POTS had been flaring. I'd had 3 near syncope episodes, almost fainting, in the past 5 days. My cardiologist had adjusted my medications, but they weren't working yet. I told my mom I might not make it to the reunion. "Sweetie, you don't have to come if you're not feeling well," she said. "I want to," I told her. "I miss everyone. I'll need to use my wheelchair, and I might need to rest inside if it gets too hot." "Of course. Whatever you need." Monica, who was on the call, we do family group calls to plan these things, scoffed. "Oh, here we go. Natalie in her wheelchair. The star of the show as always." "Monica," my mother started. "What?" "I'm just saying what everyone's thinking. Every family event becomes about Natalie and her supposed illness. It's exhausting." I hung up. I was used to Monica's comments by now, but they still stung. I almost didn't go. But Jake convinced me. "Don't let her keep you from family, Nat," he said. "You have every right to be there. And screw Monica. Half the family thinks she's full of it anyway." So I went, in my wheelchair, with my medication bag, with my water bottle and salt supplements and all the things I need to manage my condition. I pressed charges. The EMTs had witnessed the aftermath. Uncle Dave had seen Monica push me. At least 15 family members had seen the whole thing. When the police showed up at the hospital to take my statement, I told them everything. How Monica had been harassing me about my illness for years. How she deliberately pushed me out of my wheelchair. How I'd been injured and triggered a serious medical episode. The officer took notes, took witness statements, and 3 days later, Monica was charged with assault and battery. My family imploded. Half of them supported me. "She assaulted you. She deserves consequences." The other half thought I was overreacting. "She's your sister. Family doesn't press charges against family. This is going too far." Monica's husband called me, begging me to drop the charges. She didn't mean it. She was just frustrated. She has the kids to think about. "Please, Natalie." "She pushed me out of a wheelchair in front of 40 people, I said. "She could have seriously hurt me. She did hurt me. And she's been emotionally abusing me about my illness for 4 years. I'm done." My mom was torn. She supported me, but was devastated that her daughters were in this position. "I never thought it would come to this," she kept saying. It came to this because Monica refused to believe I was sick. I told her. She made her choice. Now she has to face the consequences. The court case took 6 weeks. Monica pleaded not guilty, claimed it was an accident, that she just meant to move the wheelchair, not push me out of it. But there were too many witnesses, too many people who'd heard her say, "Stop faking," too many who'd seen the deliberate shove. The judge wasn't buying her story. She was found guilty, sentenced to 1 year probation, mandatory anger management classes, and ordered to pay my medical bills from that day, the ambulance, the ER visit, the follow-up with my cardiologist. She was also ordered to stay away from me. A restraining order. No contact for 1 year. The family reunion aftermath was brutal. Some relatives stopped speaking to me, called me vindictive, said I destroyed the family over nothing. Others apologized to me, said they'd witnessed Monica's behavior over the years and were glad I'd finally stood up for myself. My Aunt Susan sent me a long letter. "I'm so sorry we didn't defend you more. I've seen her comments, her looks, her dismissiveness. We all have. We should have called her out years ago. Maybe if we had, it never would have gotten to this point." She was right. Monica's behavior had been enabled for years by family members who didn't want to cause drama, who looked the other way when she made snide comments, who laughed uncomfortably when she questioned my illness. And I'd enabled it too, by not setting harder boundaries, by trying to keep the peace, by hoping she'd eventually come around and believe me. But she never did, and she never would have, because in her mind, I was always going to be the sister who faked an illness for attention. It's been 2 months since the reunion. I'm doing better physically. The bruises from the fall healed. My POTS is as managed as it can be. Some days are good, some are bad, but that's life with chronic illness. Emotionally, I'm still processing, because losing a sister, even one who was cruel to me, hurts. I grieve for the relationship we could have had if she just believed me, if she'd been supportive instead of skeptical, if she'd been kind. But I don't regret pressing charges. Not for a second. Because what Monica did wasn't just assault. It was the culmination of years of ableist abuse, of gaslighting me about my own body, of making me question my reality, of making family events stressful instead of joyful. She needed to face consequences, real ones, not just a stern talking to from Mom. Some people still think I went too far. She's your sister, they say. Family is supposed to forgive, but forgiveness doesn't mean erasing consequences. It doesn't mean allowing someone to hurt you repeatedly without repercussions. I can forgive Monica for not understanding my illness. I can forgive her for being skeptical or ignorant or scared. But I can't forgive her for pushing me out of a wheelchair because she decided my medical condition was fake. That's not a mistake. That's a choice. A violent one. And choices have consequences. So here's what I want people to understand. Invisible illnesses are real. Just because you can't see someone's disability doesn't mean it doesn't exist. When someone tells you they're sick, believe them. You don't have to understand their condition, just trust that they know their own body better than you do. And if you witness someone being cruel to a disabled person, family or not, speak up. Don't enable that behavior by staying silent. Because silence is what allowed Monica to get away with her comments for years. Silence is what made her think it was okay to escalate to physical violence. I'm Natalie. I'm 31 years old. I have POTS. And my sister pushed me out of my wheelchair because she thought I was faking. She learned the hard way that I wasn't. And hopefully, she learned something else. That disabled people deserve respect, dignity, and belief. Even from family. Especially from family. The restraining order expires in 10 months. I don't know if Monica and I will ever speak again after that. But I do know this. I will never again tolerate someone questioning my illness. I will never again stay silent when someone treats my disability like a choice. Because my wheelchair isn't a prop. My illness isn't fake. And my worth isn't determined by whether people believe me or not. I know my truth. And that's enough.